just gonna drop this later on tonight. What's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely Sunday? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
What up? All right, so we're gonna continue on. We're gonna talk about 1998 now. You know what I'm saying in terms of R&B. Um, Honestly, for me, this is a much easier list for me to make because I feel like
Mm,
even though this was another good year for R&B and whatnot, there was some stuff people loved that I call trash. Some albums that some albums that are from '90, I didn't even have a chance to hear it. Like,
right.
sorry, Total Fans, but the second album is not on my list and shit.
Oh, Bali. That's honorable mention for me though.
Yeah, I never heard the second album.
Yeah, it couple joints, but it's not as great as the first one.
Yeah, but even the first one, it had a couple of issues
You
with
didn't
it
like
too.
it?
But I liked it.
Mm,
What I call it a classic, nah. Is it a good album for its time? Most definitely.
yeah,
But when I like Total, but vocally they weren't all that. Folks, I'm just gonna be real.
you're right. I agree.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to be shitting on bad boys' heads and stuff like that. But just gotta be honest. I don't just like to put shit on this list without actually listening to it. Even if I
Mm,
have not even heard the whole album, heard bits
right,
and like the majority of it and
right.
stuff like that, then that's what's up. Without further ado, let's get this shit started.
Hmm.
So my number 15, honestly, I'm not a big fan of this artist, but shout out to um the YouTuber The Bishop.
Hmm.
He had a dope ass R&B conversation. He pretty much agreed that this guy is a good singer, but when it comes to his albums, it's not always hitting. It's Tyrese with this
Well,
first self-titled album. This came out September 29th, 1998.
mm,
Honestly, his best album to me. I mean, this is like even with this album itself, it has like
yeah,
the less number of filler and shit like that. I felt like everything on
right.
the album touched. Black Rose was pretty good. I
Mm,
remember hearing Black Rose, that was pretty good and stuff like that, but still. I mean, yeah, songs like Sweet Lady, which that was like a big hit, 98, 90,
big hit,
99.
big hit.
Have I told you I loved you lately? That's my shit
Hmm.
though.
That was good too.
Fucking ain't nothing but Jones. Because you got to remember, this nigga was like doing that Coca Cola commercial and
Right.
stuff like that too.
Hmm.
And then he was supposed to have been on what was supposed to have been the Martin spinoff for Pam, but that
Really?
didn't make it happen. Yeah, because if you remember the last season, right?
Mm,
There was this one episode, and this was like around when Martin and Tisha Campbell were going at it.
mm,
So they wanted to give like a spinoff to Pam and stuff like that
right.
too. So they had to do this like they had old dude who played Robert from Cosby Show and
Mm,
stuff like that.
okay.
Couple other people. I want to say AJ Johnson, not the woman, the man, Ezel.
Mm,
I want to say he was on that episode and shit too.
right.
Um, and Pam was supposed to have managed this singer named Tyrese. Well, not named Tyrese, of course, but this singer who was like shy and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All my Martin fans, y'all should know about that episode and stuff like
Mm,
that too. Tyrese was getting bit rolled, and he also had a bit role on the Parenthood. He played one of the thugs that shot Robert in the ass or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Yeah, yeah, man. So this self-titled album, honestly, probably my favorite Tyrese album. I'm not like the biggest Tyrese fan. You
right.
guys will probably have to watch the Ego episode to see
Mm,
about that. I'm saying, but yeah,
right.
man, this one for its time, I would accept it.
So, I got number 15. I got Player.
Mm.
Rest in peace to Static Major. This was Timberland's group, and he did some production on here as well as the group members. This was a dope album. I don't think it was promoted by the label though. Very underrated. I like the title track, "Cheers to You" and "Don't Stop the Music" all the way. Static. He was like the songwriter in the group. He rapped a little. The two members from Player actually joined Drew Hill now, so they're part of Drew Hill now. Because I think Skola, I want to say Skola left the group, and then the two remaining members of Player joined the group now, so they're part of Drew Hill now with Cisco and Nokia. But I believe this is like the only album that they dropped in '98, and they were also on the Timberland first album, Life in the Basement. They were on that album as well. And this was a dope album. I just felt like it wasn't promoted enough. The only video I saw from this album was Cheers to You. I didn't see no other video from this album. I didn't see them on no major tours. The record label didn't really promote it. But I always think it was like an underrated album from you know production wise from Timberland. So
Yeah, in terms of like static and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Static
yeah,
Major. I
yeah,
didn't really get to know him until he dropped Lollipop with Lil Wayne.
right,
I I think I've heard bits and pieces of that album, honestly.
hmm,
It
yeah,
I have to re-listen to that one because I know the Cheers to You song and stuff like that. I know that.
hmm,
And I think the album didn't come out because Devontae was going through his bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because I think they
hmm,
were still under the basement crew and whatnot when the album came out too. So it's crazy.
right, yeah. It was and he Static did stuff for Lee's last album, the Red album.
Yes.
He was on that too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Static.
yeah,
I my number 14. This might be a lot of people might give me some flack for the placement on this album and
mm,
whatnot. I wasn't entirely really raised on this one, to say the least.
right,
But at the same time, you know what? This lady, one of my favorite singers of all time, is Aretha Franklin's "Rose is Still a Rose." Now, I know a lot of people ask me, "Well, this is like a top 10. How could I put this on this placement?" I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is another one of those albums I've heard the majority of it,
hmm,
but that title track, "A Rose is Still a Rose," that shit was fire,
yeah,
fucking fire and shit like
definitely.
that. You know what I'm saying? Lauren Hill definitely did a thing with that. And this is a typical Clive Davis album. If you guys know about Clive Davis, because she's had signed to Arista Records in 1980, like in the
Right,
early 80s and shit like that.
yeah,
And her tenure in Arista Records had some highs, had some lows, but around the 90s, she didn't really have like a lot of hits in the 90s like that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Except for overseas.
hmm,
So Clive Davis got like the best of the best. Jermaine Dupri, Dallas Austin, Lauren Hill, Daryl Simmons, his boyfriend Sean Diddy
hmm,
Combs. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man.
hmm,
Like I said, I haven't heard this whole album in full, but from what I've heard, it's a cool album. To say the least, it's a cool album. Not really one of my favorite Aretha albums, but it's better than Who's Zooming Who. I can't
right,
stand that fucking album to this day. And Aretha don't really have like a lot of shit I would say bad. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
So I'll give this album a listen. Maybe if I get it on my hands on it, I'll give it a play and shit like that. Whatever. I can't talk today.
That's on my honorable mention. But like I agree with you. Like in top 10, I don't think none of the top 10 albums I don't think her album is beating any of the top 10 albums, in my opinion.
Same.
So there was a lot of bangers, a lot of slept on albums in '98. I feel like the top 10 list I'm seeing is like I think those albums were better than hers. But it's Aretha Franklin, and she got a lot of publicity for that album, and Lauryn Hill was big with her album that year. So, but that's my honorable mention. That's gonna be one of my honorable mentions. But I don't think it was like a great album like that. Number 14 for me is a singer called Davina. Her album,
Ooh,
remember
best of
Davina?
both worlds.
So good. Bro?
Yeah.
Yes, that album is banging. This is a banging dope hip hop soul album, all produced by Davina. Like I don't know when the last time we heard like a dope album produced by a female. Might have been Lauryn Hill, but they're like all produced by a female, and You had the single "So Good" with Raekwon. That was a big hit back in '98. Love that track. On the first track, "Come Over to My Place." "When It Rains," "Coming for You." She also did a rendition of Michael Jackson's "I Can't Help It." It's not as good as the original, but nobody's as good as Michael. But this was a dope banging hip hop soul album, all produced by Davina. She didn't run out and get the track masters and Puffy and whoever else was hot at that time. And like I said, like it's been a long time since you can say like you heard like a dope album, all produced by a female artist. And this is another slept on album. Like her, I believe she was on Loud Records, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And Loud Records, they were promoting everybody in '98. They didn't promote this album enough. They promoted the single because the single I saw the video every day on BT or Video Music Box, but the album I didn't see nobody talk about this album. They didn't promote it enough, but this is a dope hip hop album, and I was definitely impressed by it, and she definitely had talent. I don't know what happened to her after the first one, but I definitely had to put this on the list.
Yeah, I remember I heard that album a while back and shit like that, and
Mm.
I know it's expensive online. So
Yeah, probably.
yeah. All right. Now I got those two out the way. Now we can heat this list up a little bit. Number 13. I This is the last album from this R&B group. You know what I'm saying? It's not as good as the first two, but that does not mean it's far from quality. It's Escape with the Traces of My Lipstick album.
Mm,
Oh my god, this came out during a turbulent time in the group and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of backstage tension. You know what I'm saying? Latasha Scott. I think it was Candy who said that this album was supposed to have been Latasha Scott's breakout
solo
solo or
album.
whatever. Yeah,
Right.
getting ready for his album and stuff like that
Mm,
too. You know what
right.
I'm saying? In comparison to the first two, this one was like a bit more R&B laced and
Mm,
whatnot too. And I said like, well, off the hook, it had like its R&B is too, but at the same time, it still had its like hip hop soul and shit like that too. But then remember how I said with Tony Braxton's Secrets, they Mariah
mm,
carried
yeah.
album. This is what I think with this album as well too. There's like a lot
Right.
more ballads, you know what I'm saying, a lot more soulful performances, and again, very good songs. The Arms
Right.
of the One Who Loves You,
Love that joint.
Softest Place on Earth, their
Hmm.
cover of Atlantic Stars, Am I Dreaming, with
Yeah.
Old School and Key Sweat, fucking Do You Know. Yeah, it's a good album. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people have called this a classic album as well too, and shit
Right.
like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm like I said, you can't go wrong with any Escape album, in my
Right.
opinion. But if you're expecting humming coming at you off the hook, you might be sadly disappointed and stuff like that. But Traces of My Lipstick, 1998, very dope album.
Yes. That's high on my list though. Um,
Cool.
Number 13, I got Tamia, first album, self-titled debut album. And this was
Mm.
definitely another banger, another dope album of that year. And she had some big hits on here. Put a move on my now. My question was, God, I don't think we ever talked about this album, right?
I don't think I've ever heard the album. I've heard bits and
Yeah.
pieces though.
Now she debuted on Q's Juke joint. That was '95. Why did it take her like 3 years later to come out with a debut album?
My guess is like because I think at that time too, Uptown Records was going
Mm.
through like a lot of backstage tension changes. Because I think Andre Harrell had left at that time. Heavy D was the president. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
but she wasn't on Uptown. She was on, wasn't she like on MCA or something?
I could have sworn she was on Uptown. Oh,
Tamia?
no,
I don't think
that's
Tamia was on.
Monifa. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That was Monifa. Excuse me. Okay.
Mm.
I honestly don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, because
That is
like
some very
the bonus track on this on the album is "You Put a Move in My Heart," and that's from the Quincy Jones album. That was '95. So 3 years later, she drops her first album, and then they added that to as a bonus track. And I didn't understand like why did it take her so long to come out with a debut album? You know, because it's on Quincy Jones' label. It was on Quest Records or whatever. And I've always wondered. I don't know why.
well, certain labels they sometimes want to do this either they want to probably place the artist in more projects, or they just want to make sure the
Right,
project is that good because they probably invested a lot of money into the artist, the quote unquote artist. You know what I'm saying? Because mind
right.
you, Biggie first appearance on Wax was Nemet Cherry's that was sung by Nemet Cherry. A lot of
Mm.
people think it was Super Cat, Dolly My Baby, but it was actually that track. And shit, this was
Oh,
before because the original time he went by Biggie Smalls. He didn't go by Notorious B.I.G. because somebody sued him for
right.
name props, but he still kept the name Biggie Smalls. But back to the point, it took 2 years because Diddy got fired from Uptown, signed to Bad
Right.
Boy, who needed to get a distribution deal. So a lot
Mm.
of behind the scenes stuff might have happened and that might have happened and stuff like that, which kind of like prevents the artist from dropping the true material. Because like these days, an artist might be appear on a guest feature, then probably the next year or the year and a half, they'll automatically, or hell, even less than a year, they'll automatically have Project of Throne, even a mixtape EP, shit like that.
Right. Yeah, this was a dope album. Like, you had production from Tim and Bob and Jermaine Dupri, Stevie J, Imagination. That was a single from the album. That was a dope joint by Jermaine. You had So Into You, huge hit from this album, produced by Tim and Bob, and
Yeah,
then Fabulous did his own version. The original version with Fab was with Tamia, and then they got rid of Tamia and added Ashante or something like that. Um,
oh God.
yeah, that was because she's not in the
She
video.
kept
Asante, I think the video version it has Ashante, but something with the record label they didn't want Tamia, they wanted Ashante because she was hot at the time,
Yeah,
and there's like two different versions. There's one with Ashante and one with Tamia.
yeah.
So yeah, but this was
Both
like the
both
original,
sucks
huh?
really.
Both
I
suck.
said, yeah.
Man, I love it. I love the track and you got "Falling for You" produced by Stevie J. He sampled one of the popular Sherilyn hits on that joint. Best of My Love, I think it was. He sampled that. You had "Is That You" with Jermaine Dupri. She did a rendition of "Careless Whisper," the big Wham joint from Make It Big, and it was a nice jazzy rendition. She had the saxophones on it as well, and there's a lot of artists I noticed from '98 that did a lot of renditions on the albums. Like Brandy did a rendition. You had Davina, you had
Yeah.
Tamia. What was it with this whole rendition thing?
International success.
That's what it was. Yeah, I noticed that like listening to some of these albums, like for whatever reason, '98 was like a year of like renditions. But yeah, she did her own rendition of "Killer's Whisper," but I actually like that rendition. It was good, and I wish she would have did it with George Michael. Rest in peace to him. But this
Oh
was
my
a
God.
solid solid debut album. Definitely another album to me that went under the radar. But definitely a solid debut from Tamia.
Got you. Yeah, I gotta check out that album now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is from one of your favorite singers.
Oh Lord.
My number 12 is Maya with her self-titled.
Oh Lord. What?
Uh, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So people really think that she could sing. I never felt like she could sing.
Okay. My opinion, and this is my
Mm,
opinion because my opinion is gonna be relevant in this video.
right.
She's not the best singer,
Mm,
but, and I mean this, but she has a good presence, and the songs that she did write, it fit her.
mm.
That it wasn't too bubblegummy. It wasn't too hood R&B. It had like a right balance and shit too. You know what I'm saying?
So she's a songwriter. She writes her own songs and all that.
Singer songwriter. Yep.
Okay.
She wrote. She wrote. She wrote. She did have some help though. She did have some help, but she
Mm,
wrote some of her songs and shit. You know what I'm saying?
right. Okay.
So this was an album. This is an album that pretty much came out around the time when like people were calling her like the new incarceration of Diana Ross or some shit like
What?
that.
Really?
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never heard that about her. About Maya?
yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah. Trust me,
crazy.
I've been looking up shit. You know,
Diana
and
Ross? I never got that from her.
Diana had that softer,
Mm,
singy. Yeah, I think it's because of the softer tone. That's what I think it is. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And because she was a dancer. She used to work with Gregory Hines, Savion Glover. Then she ended up doing Broadway, if I'm not mistaken. She had a
Really?
dance group. Like she's been in the business for a while.
Right.
Like I mentioned, like people have been in the business for a while and shit like that
Right.
too.
Right.
So
Hmm.
um, I love songs like fucking "Moving On" was pretty good. "Bye Bye" with
Uh-huh.
Missy Elliott. You said what?
The moving on joint. That was the one with Silk the Shocker. That joint.
That was the remix. Yeah,
Yeah, cause I think she was dating Silk at that time. There was like rumors that she was dating him or something.
really. Oh wow.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah. By the way, off topic. Have you ever seen that Carlito's Way 2 with Diddy and shit like that?
Yes, that was. I didn't like it. The prequel. That's the prequel. I
That
didn't.
prequel.
I'm like, why did they put Diddy in there for what?
I never knew there was a prequel because I was
Yeah,
posting on the
that's the
Instagram.
prequel. Yeah,
Oh god.
I didn't like it.
Anyway, yeah, if you died, I wouldn't cry because you never loved me anyway. First of all, that's a long ass title. Second
Wow.
of all, that was pretty good. Well, Nokia from Drew Hill produced that, so
Okay,
yeah, that
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Woody also helped write that, so that could have been a Drew Hill song actually. Think about it.
Right, right.
But yeah, this one was a good. Yeah, this one was a pretty good record. You know what I'm saying? It's actually the only Maya album I've heard. I don't even think I've heard Fear Flying.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I know that one she had Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Robin Thicke on that shit. But
Really?
don't
Wow.
expect a review anytime soon. Yeah,
She had
yeah,
some
Robin
heavy
Thicke. Like
hitters
I
on
said,
her
Robin.
albums, and I never got the whole Diana Ross thing about her. I'm like, really, Diana Ross? Diana Ross can sing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I never got that. I never heard nobody compare her to Diana Ross. I'm like, I've heard people, you know, compare legends to some of these other artists, but I never heard the Diana Ross and Maya thing. You know, maybe I'll
shit.
check out her
You know,
album if it's that good.
niggas always sound alike.
Man. Okay. Number 12. We had 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 12 for me is another album to me that went under the radar, but I know this artist is respected. He came from an R&B group, and he's no longer here, sadly. Gerald Levert, Love and Consequences. This album is fire. One of his best solo albums, and I haven't heard all of his albums like that. I know the Levert stuff, but this album is banging. And he had some people on this album with him, man. He had Lazy Bone, Ken Dog and Lazy Bone from Bone Thugs, yes. On the first track, No Sense, that was a banger. You had Mary J. Blige on That's the Way I Feel About You. Nice collab, little soulful track. You had what else you had? You had Thinking About It with his brother, the late great Sean Levert. Rest in peace to both of them. Breaking My Heart. It's Your Turn. The production was solid. The songs were solid. Definitely enjoyed this album. I think we gotta do a review on this album because I see people post it, but I didn't hear enough people talk about it in '98 when it came out for whatever reason, and this was like right after the first LG album, so
Yeah.
um yeah, this was definitely a dope album, and Joe Levert was a dope ass producer. A lot of people forget that he produced also. This was a dope production wise, and songs was banging. So I definitely had to put this on the list.
That was close to making my list, but I never heard it.
Yeah, this is dope. Rest in peace, Gerald Levert and Sean Levert.
Yeah, man. My number 11. We're gonna go with Faith Evans with "Keep the Faith." Probably, probably my favorite Faith Evans album. To be real with you, I'm not even gonna hold you. I like Faith. Faith was good. I feel like with here, it added that bad boy. It had more of that bad boy to it.
Right,
She had
right.
more creative control. Well, Puffy was still executive producing, but still. Um, but the songs would be like "Sunny Days." It's probably my favorite Faith Evans song. Period.
Right.
I love that sample, the Al Johnson sample, which all of my Will Smith fans, yes, I said Will Smith. Y'all should know about that. Y'all should know about that sample.
Mhm.
Um, My First Love was dope. Love Like This. To this day, if anyone plays that mixing in with the Fat Man Scoop, you got $1 million bill. Put your hands up, single
Yeah,
ladies. I can't hear y'all, single
crazy.
ladies. That I love it whenever they mash that with the Fat Man
Hmm.
Scoop song in the parties and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Oh my god, the whole
yeah.
joint would go fucking crazy and stuff. I remember
All
when
the
I
DJs. That's like a DJ hit.
exactly just
Hmm.
I remember one time that song played at a party and she took off my fucking shirt, man. I was like, yeah, like don't give no shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. What else? What else? Yeah, Caramel Kisses with the 112. Oh my god,
that was dope.
another dope joint right there. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man. This was a very dope album. I definitely need to get my hands on this record and stuff
And
like that too. This is Keep the Faith.
yeah, that's gonna be on my list also. Like it's gonna be higher. Another slept on album to me at number 11, and we talked about this man's one of his albums like uh, I want to say last week, week before last. Brian McKnight Christmas album Bethlehem. This album is banging. This is I'm not a fan of like Christmas albums like that. I like some. I like New Edition had a great Christmas album in the 80s. Um, of course, Boyz II Men Christmas Interpretations in '93 that was great. This album was banging. That nigga was slept on. Um, he also has Boyz II Men on here. They do a sequel to Let It Snow. It's called Let It Snow '98, and that shit is fire too. The beat, the bass line, loved it. They needed to do a video for that. I didn't see no videos from this album, but the sequel for Let It Snow was dope. I definitely enjoyed that one. You got the Silent Night interlude. He has Nat King Cole's wife, Natalie Cole's mom, is on the skit, and she's like talking about like Christmases that she spent with Nat King Cole, and rest in peace to the whole is the wife alive, or is she gone?
Who Natalie Cole's wife? I
No,
mean Nat King Cole.
um yeah,
I want to say she passed away.
okay. Rest in peace to the whole Cole family. Natalie Cole and her mom and Nat King Cole, the great Nat King Cole. Yeah, she was on the Silent Night interlude. You got It's All About Love. That was a banger. I think we got like some kids singing on that. The First Noel, that was a banger. This is definitely an underrated Christmas album, and definitely it's another one we need to discuss. Again, it's one of those albums I don't hear people talk about, especially when it comes to Christmas albums. They talk about Mariah's Christmas album, to death. That has become like the Christmas album that everybody seems to know for like one song, really. You know what I'm saying? But this is the dope Christmas album. I love the production from Brian McKnight, real soulful. So yeah, that's my number 11.
That's what's up. Hey, we having a dope conversation about sitcoms on the chat too. You want to jump in?
Yeah, okay. Y'all talking about give me a break and all that.
Yeah, I was like, I can't stand that show. I'm like, y'all
It
get
was
y'all you
okay.
okay?
Hmm? And I was saying it
I said
was
go ahead.
give me a break. Give me a break was okay. It wasn't like one of my favorites though.
Mm, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna stick to fucking different strokes and facts of life over that.
Right,
To be real with you,
right.
out of
Hmm.
top 10, I'm gonna start it off with Drew Hill with that Enter the Drew, and this might be their most consistent album, honestly. You know what I'm saying? This might be the consistent album. This record right here came out 2 years right after the self-titled record, which I need to get my hands on that record. To be real with you, um, and it should be fucking. The albums are fucking cheap though. I don't even know why I
Yeah.
haven't. The only album I fucking got, I want to say I got the. I think either this one or the trash ass third album. Hold on.
Oh, Drew World Order. I didn't like that at all. I
Yeah,
I think my homeboy had gave me that on bootleg. I'm like, this shit was trash. I think Noriega was on that album. With he was on a
yeah, I
track,
got you.
and I
Yeah,
didn't
I
like it.
got Drew World too.
Yeah,
I
I
got
didn't
a
like that
CD.
album.
Like, I'm like, damn, nigga, you couldn't have given me Into the Drew at least.
Right? So, yeah, switch it out.
But you know, one thing I do respect about Drew World Order, they
Mm,
kept the lineup intact and they added a new member.
yeah,
You can't say that about a lot of these other '90s groups and shit like that too. But back to the
right.
greatness of Into the Drew. I mean, this one right here definitely had that '98 R&B feel. Like, how deep is your love? I'm gonna get some flack for this, but I've always hated that song.
Hmm. I like it from the Bee Gees. I like the Bee Gees version though.
You say what? You like the Bee Gees
I like
version?
the Bee Gees. Yeah,
True. Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't the cover though. But hey,
right.
unfortunately, but I do like their cover of the Dells, "The Love We Had Stayed on My Mind," which
Mm,
honestly I thought they were the ones who did that. I was slightly disappointed when I found out it
right.
was a cover. 'Cause I'm just like, wow, this is something good from Drew Hill and shit like that. I didn't expect this from shit. Cisco was singing on that record too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
These
Yeah.
are the times. I love that joint. Um, this is what we do with fucking Method Man. That was dope. And speaking of Method Man, wasn't Redman on the remix to "How Deep Is Your Love"?
Yes. He's on the.
Okay.
He that was from the Rush Hour. Was it Rush Hour 1? I think it was.
Yeah, what's up?
Rush Hour. Yeah. Yeah. It was from one of those Rush Hour films. Yeah.
Ooh, hold up. Speaking of that, let me check the soundtrack. That might be an honorable mention. Yeah. This one right here is my second favorite album they've ever done. I
Mm.
will give this definitely a 4.5. Mike's like, yeah, fuck it.
All right, number tens. It might be number 10, but it's called the number ones. Mariah Carey, greatest hits. This is the first time ever I put a greatest hits on a countdown like this, but it was just that damn good. And she had like some of her biggest hits on here. Hero and Dream Lover, Emotions. You got the Fantasy remix. Then they put the Fantasy remix on here, but they ain't put the Honey remix on here. I ain't understand that. And I know she got a remix album. Maybe that's why, but they could have at least put the Honey remix on here. But you had a Sweetheart that was with Jermaine Dupri. That was also on Jermaine Dupri's first album, Life in 1472. I think that was 98 also, if I'm not mistaken.
Stay
Um,
tuned. Soon.
yeah, that I actually like that album too. That to me is his best album as an artist.
That kind of
Yeah,
grew on me in recent years. I'm not even gonna hold you.
it grew on you. Yeah, I liked it from the jump. There was some collabs on there. I was like, you got Premier on here? You know what I'm saying? And he had like some collabs. I was like, I didn't think Jermaine Dupri knew these people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a dope album. But yeah, Sweetheart, that was from that album that's on here. You got I Still Believe. You know, My All. Yeah, it was definitely a greatest hits. I think she has another greatest hits album also. And this album came out on vinyl recently. I want to say it was this year for Record Store Day or last year. Like they re-released it on vinyl. So but this is like one of my favorite greatest hits albums, and it's Mariah Carey. So
Yeah, dope compilation. I think might be my first Mariah Carey album. I've
oh
actually,
what?
well, it's a compilation. Cause my
Yeah.
sister and my dad, they had the compilation. They had the rainbow joint.
Hmm.
I know my sister eventually got Emancipation and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
love
that
that.
too.
That was
I
dope.
had a lot of memories listening to that number ones and shit.
Hmm. That was dope.
Plus, they did come out with new songs too, so I will give you that.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, number nine. Okay, I might get some flack for this, but I don't give a fuck. I got Destiny's Child with their
Okay.
first album. Now, this version of Destiny's Child, 'cause, you guys say which version of
Mm,
Destiny's Child for the album and shit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I want to say it's like Beyonce, Kelly. I'm gonna say Fair. See,
Yeah.
now I thought I
Farrah.
had Farrah and Latavia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many fucking members. Yeah. No. It's Latoya and Latavia.
Okay.
It was Beyonce, Kelly, Latoya, Latavia.
So
And so,
Farrah and the other one came after.
yeah, Farrah, if I'm not mistaken, she came during the Writing on the Wall era.
Right. And
Something.
Latoya Luckett. Latoya Luckett was after.
Latoya was an original member.
Oh, she was okay. She was an original member. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I had to say let y'all know because this was before Michelle came to the group and shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Okay, so with this album, honestly, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. This is actually my favorite album. This one and Writing on the Wall. It's actually
Mm,
might be my favorite album they've ever done. This
right.
one had a strictly, in comparison to the future albums, it had a strictly R&B feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Because like the
Right.
future albums like Survivor and Fulfill definitely borrowed a lot from the hip hop and the pop sentiments and shit like that too. With
Mm,
joints like this, you got fucking No Part One, Part Two, Second Nature. I think that was like an Isley Brothers cover.
right.
Part two with fucking Master P. Like yeah, it did have its hip hop, but the R and
Right.
B definitely grounded it as well too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Definitely time.
Do you think I want to ask you something? Do you think we'll ever see Latoya reunite with Destiny Child? Or that's done?
Mm, honestly,
Mm,
as far as making music, I think Destiny Child making music is pretty done. But if they
mm.
was like to do like a performance, maybe because
Yeah,
it's
like
because they're
if they
still
did like a reunion, like if they did like a reunion album, could you see Latoya joining the group again?
absolutely because
'Cause
they're
I
all
never,
so
I
cool with
don't
one another
know.
except Eric.
Okay, so there wasn't like no bad blood with the past members, like with Latavia and Latoya and them.
The media they try to make the media try to make that it's a bad blood because it
Right.
was fucking Matthew Knowles and his bullshit ass pretty much that was fucking up everybody and stuff like that too. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a story where he actually got mad at the members from Jagged Edge
Mm,
and shit too because they was
I
on what they
remember
was
that.
on tour. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
So
dating. They were dating the members or something like that.
yep. So Jagged Edge also
Yeah.
played a part too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I did. That was in the Vibe magazine. I remember reading that Vibe issue where they were talking about the members were showing up late because of the two brothers in Jagged Edge
Yeah.
showing up late to the studio and stuff, and it caused friction with Beyonce and the members.
See, that's the thing. It wasn't even friction. I don't even think it was mostly just Matthew Knowles because
They were saying it
Beyonce,
was well. I mean, according to Vibe, they were saying that there was tension in the group because the two members were
yeah,
dating the brothers from Jagged Edge or whatever.
media. It's just the
Right.
media on
And
this
then
bullshit.
when it came out, the brothers came out and they were like, it's not their fault that they left the group or whatever.
That's something
Oh
crazy.
yes,
Yeah, mind you,
they
I'm
were
not the biggest Edge fan, so
right. 'Cause people were blaming the two brothers that it was their fault that Latoya and Latavia left or whatever, but they were saying it's not their fault. That's not on them because you know what I'm saying. It's like
yeah,
they got their own drama in their own group. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man.
exactly.
Crazy shit. Yeah, I just wanted to
That-
know because I'm like,
yeah.
Latoya Luckett has come a long way since Destiny's Child. So she's gonna be on the new season of what is it? The Power one of the Canaan. I think she'll be on Canaan, the Canaan
She's a
spinoff.
dope.
And she's playing jukebox. She's playing jukebox mom. So she's gonna be on the new season of Canaan. So yeah, she's come a long way from Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Number 9 for me is Escape. Traces on My Lipstick. You already mentioned it. I thought it was a dope album. It's not a classic compared to the first two. But there was some joints on here I liked. My Little Secret was a big hit, and I like Do You. What was it Do You Know? The Arms of the One Who Loves You. That was a big ballad for them or for this album. It was definitely dope. That album is a dope album. You know what I'm saying? I'm still waiting for that fourth Escape album produced by Jermaine Dupri. We might never get that, but this was dope.
Yeah, man, definitely dope. Next album, my number 8, I got Kelly Price, "Soul for Woman."
Mhm.
Very dope album, in my opinion. My opinion, her best album as well too.
Right.
And I do have this album too. I just remember I do got this one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Songs like "Friend of Mine," that and the remix was very good. Fucking "You Complete Me," "Soul for Woman." You know what I'm saying? I just love this is around the time when R&B was getting more cinematic. Like,
Right.
you was a friend of mine.
Mhm.
You left with. I remember the video with her crying and shit like that. Oh my god!
How
Like,
mascara was running and shit. That shit was funny.
yeah, yeah, man. This is definitely an R&B classic in my opinion. So I don't give a damn.
We did an album review on this.
Yes, we did.
Yes, like a couple years ago. That was dope. That was dope.
That's one of the best reviews we
Okay.
made.
Yeah, that was a good one, definitely. Because I think that was the first time I actually heard the album. I remember that friend of mine single, and that was like a huge hit. You know. Number 8, I got Monica, The Boy Is Mine. One of her best albums, in my opinion, a classic. I love the production. I think the songs were bigger on this album. You had the boy, well, of course, The Boy's Mine with her and Brandy, and Angel. Was it Angel of Mine was on this joint? That was
Yeah.
on this joint, right? Angel of Mine. That was a huge hit. Street Symphony. First Night, produced by Jermaine Dupri. That was a banger. Definitely a classic album. I had a cousin from the Caribbean that was like staying with us that summer, and I remember going with him, and he bought the album on vinyl. And he played that album every day that he was here until he went home. Like every day, I heard The Boy's Mine and Street Symphony, and I'm like, yo, I got tired of hearing that album after a while. I think that's why I never bought it. I'm like, because I was hearing him play it every damn day, and he just fell in love with that album as soon as he got it. And yeah, this definitely a classic album for Monica.
Yeah, that's gonna be further up my list.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7 is gonna be a controversial pick because technically this album was shelved, but the first disc of this album is shelved where he recorded more tracks after. So it's Nate Dogg with G Funk Classics Volume 1 and 2.
Oh shit.
Yes, hip hop, soul, R&B, it counts
Right.
and shit like that. People want to say, "Oh, well, you still had some hip hop on it," but Nate Dogg is singing on the record too.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Teddy Riley was the album for God's sake. So
Wow. I don't think I heard that one. Is that then it was like two parts of that album or something?
yeah, so the
Is
story, the
that the
story,
one? Is that it's him and Warren G, or Warren G got his own version?
nobody does it better. You mean that song?
No, okay. What I thought Warren G had something called is it the G Files or something?
You talking about regular the G Funk era?
No, I thought so the Nate Dogg album it's a double album, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I thought Warren G had his own version or something, but he's on the album with him though, right?
yeah, One G's on the album. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
I never heard the album
yeah, man.
before.
Yeah, I did say I was gonna do a review on this album, but
Yeah.
the thing is, before I tell the history, because I had gotten the first disc
Mm,
first, because I think I got it from Amazon, and
mm,
so next thing you know, I ended up getting the full album, the full double disc album of the shit too. So yeah,
right.
but yeah, this one should have been talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the story with this album, it was supposed to have been released on Death Row Records around 94 and 95.
Mm,
But the thing was, that's when Death Row was really getting to like a lot of its the murder trial with Snoop, and then he kept pushing it back and pushing it back and stuff like that too. So once Pac died and Suge went to jail or prison, excuse me,
right.
they allegedly busted through the Death Row archives room and he stole the masters back and
Wow.
whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the first disc, from what I looked up, was like the Death Row, the shit he did on Death Row Records. Whereas the
Right.
second disc, that was what he did like between like 97, 98. And you can
Mm,
definitely tell because like on like the first disc, you had more
mm,
producers like Sam Snead, LT Hutton. It definitely had that West Coast sound, like these days. I mean, not these days. Yeah, these days it was on this. And certain songs was released years prior, like on soundtracks as well too. Like
right.
Never Leaving You Alone, for instance.
I
That
remember that
was
joint.
on. Yeah, that was. I think that was on the soundtrack before. No, 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 no. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. It's not that. It was One More Day, but that's not on this album. I
One more
thought
day.
I
That's
got
not on
yeah. I
Murder
got
Was the
my.
Case. Wasn't that on Murder Was the
You
Case?
said what?
One more day. Wasn't that
Yeah,
on Murder? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I got it mixed up and shit. But Bag of
Mm,
Weed, First We Pray. It definitely had a very strong what's his name? A very strong West Coast feel. Whereas like the Prodigal Son, you can tell like he had like a more because he did some production on that one, and he
mm,
had a more like gospel kind of feel to it. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
honestly, I kind of prefer the first disc over the second disc. But I might have
Mm,
to re-listen to this album again though because I feel like with like the dissolution of Death Row Records, and I feel like this album didn't really get its just due because if it was released preferably on Death Row, it would have
mm,
definitely made more of an impact and shit too. But you know, Suge Knight, and his tactics, pretty much. And at that time, the whole shiny suit era was happening,
right.
and West Coast hip hop was not really
Yeah.
at its
It
forefront
wasn't
until
big.
really Dr. 2001 came out and
Mm.
shit too. You know what I'm saying? So, but don't sleep. This is record right here. It's fucking fire. I love it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so he broke into the Defo offices and took the recordings for the album
Yeah.
without Suge Knight knowing.
Yeah, I don't think he knew until really
Mm,
the song came out. Because, like I said, he was in prison, and Death Row Records was just, it was just in a different
right.
stratosphere after Pop died and
So that
shit.
oh
So,
that's when Snoop had left to for No Limit and Daz had sued him or whatever.
yeah, Snoop left like around 97,
Right.
98. Daz did, technically, Dad was like the de facto head of Death Row because he didn't really leave until his
Right.
contract was up in 99. And plus, he was doing
But
the Retaliation album as well.
he sued Chuck for like it was like 30 million and he won.
Who, Daz?
Yeah, he got money back in that case.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember reading that and oh yeah, so Shug was so that's how you got the recordings because Shug wasn't locked up. I'm like if Shug was out, he wouldn't get those songs.
Definitely.
I haven't heard that album. I gotta hear that. 'Cause I see people post that a lot. I haven't heard that. Never heard that album. The only album I heard from him was the Music and Me album. That's the only one I heard from him. I didn't hear Prodigal Son and this double album. Okay, number 7. I got 112 Room 112, dope sophomore album. They had some hits on here. I actually got the single for Love Me. I got the single CD single. I never got the album. No. Anywhere was dope, but the dare I say Little Zane, that bum. Uh, Stay with Me. That was a dope song. Love You Like I Did. Your Letter. They had some bangers on the sophomore album. That sophomore album was dope. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely need to get my hands on that joint. I don't got. The only one to album I got was the part three. Actually, I don't got the first two. But this was a good sophomore album.
Yeah, I definitely gotta get my hands on some
Yeah.
112 too. All right, where we at now? Number six we got is Monica with the Boy Is Mine. Oh my God, where do I even begin with this album?
Yeah.
So technically, Clive Davis returns. So you know the big song with Brandy and Monica, "The Boy Is Mine."
Right.
That was a Brandy song, but Clive Davis he wanted to name that album after this fucking song, and this is
Hmm.
kind of what a lot of people say caused the quote unquote feud between Brandy and Monica and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which it didn't. It, some people say it's a feud. Some people say the media hyped it. I feel like there was some bad blood in between, especially in
Right.
that verses too. I'm
I
not even
heard
gonna
I
hold
heard
you.
the stories about Monica busting her ass backstage and shit. Well, I
Yep,
think you told me that,
that's
right?
that's
Yeah,
true because
busting her fight
Dallas
backstage.
Austin did that Vlad. Yeah, because
Hmm.
Dallas Austin did that Vlad interview. But I've
Right.
heard that story like a while too and shit.
Yeah.
Because people forget Brandy be having a mouth on her. People forget about that shit.
Right.
People forget. But that's no shots to get Brandy because I love Brandy to this day.
Hmm.
But yeah, man. Monica's "The Boy Is Mine" album. This was a very dope record and shit like that. Again, this is like one of those albums that definitely skewed 1998 and shit like
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like songs like Street Symphony, like you mentioned, one of Dallas Austin's best beats.
Right.
For You, I Will on my Space Jam fans know. Angel of Mine. I
Yeah.
remember hearing a lot growing up. Gonna Be
Yes.
Fire with Outkast.
Hmm.
Like, my God, this was fucking dope album. Surprisingly, my favorite album is Everything I Am, honestly, from
Hmm.
2010.
Really?
But if I had
Wow.
to pick a
That's
second,
your favorite
yeah,
Monica album?
that's it grew on me in recent years.
Oh,
Like
really?
it grew on me in very. Monica had a consistent discography. Like
Man, she
we might
she
need to
got
do a
some albums I
breakdown.
don't care for though. She got some joints I don't care for though.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
it to me it's Everything I Am, this
Hmm.
album, then this thing for me.
Interesting. And then she got
Yeah,
that Lost album that they never put out on Arista. You remember that joint?
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, because I forgot she put out a single from that album and didn't she like she sampled a Tupac song from that shit? I forgot how the story went, but
Yeah,
they showed that album. Yeah, they showed that album for whatever reason, and I never heard that album. Like I never found it on the internet or anything. Yeah, we gotta talk about
yeah,
we gotta talk about everything.
yeah, definitely.
Now what you were saying?
I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Okay, number six, I got Faith Keep the Faith. Again, another sophomore album. Loved it. Love Like This, that was a huge hit. All Night Long. Never Gonna Let You Go. Lately I definitely love the production. I still love Faith's first album, and I love Faithfully. I think those are like my two favorites. But her sophomore album was just as good as the 112 sophomore album. So yeah.
Definitely. All right, now we're gonna get to the top five. Um, my number five is gonna be Whitney Houston's "My Love Is Your Love." Very dope record. I had a lot of memories vibing to this record when I was growing up and stuff like that. Hearing that dun 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 dun.
Wyclef.
Like I mean, and that might be some of Wyclef's best work. You know,
Yeah,
that
that's
might be
for
some of
that
Wyclef.
time. For that time, definitely, because he fucked up Cannabis first album.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He fucked up John
And John
Forte's album
Forte,
too.
yes, fucked up that. That I don't
But
have that album
Whitney was
too.
like,
That Forte
Whitney,
album.
same. I got that album too and shit.
Yeah.
And Whitney was like, don't fuck up my shit before I get Bobby on you and shit, you know? Um,
Oh
yeah, man.
man.
Because technically, it came out 8 years after her technical studio album. What's the shit called? I'm Your Baby Tonight. But
Yeah.
I personally consider The Bodyguard her de facto album from her because she did
Right.
most of the production, had most of the songs on that. Preacher's
Mm-hmm.
Wife. I mean, they had a bit more various artists and shit too. So
Right.
let me see. Yeah, they had a bit more various artists
And
as
then
well
and
too.
then
But
she
then
had the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack.
again, it was I consider that more of a Babyface album because Whitney had like
Yeah.
I think one or two tracks from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be Babyface's best album for the Cool in You. I don't give a fuck
Definitely.
if I had to count production
Definitely.
wise.
A whole soundtrack. He killed it.
Yes, I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what nobody
I
says.
agree.
I don't give a fuck.
That's a classic soundtrack right there.
Right. And that's why I have to say this. That's why I kind of looked at myself when I said Babyface against Teddy Riley. Because I love Teddy Riley. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like Babyface
Mm.
makes soundtrack songs and
Right.
shit. Teddy kind of fell off after like '98 and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But back to this album and shit. This might have some of Whitney's best songs. Heartbreak Hotel. Come on, classic.
Yeah.
When You Believe. A bit overplayed, but I can
Mm-hmm.
deal with it. It's not right, but it's okay. All my Rodney Jerkin fans, y'all should know about that record. In My
Right.
Business with Missy Elliott, the misdemeanor, oh my fucking shit. Like
Yeah.
this fucking album was just Whitney at her best and stuff like that. Like vocally, I think vocally you kind of saw the decline a little bit, but once we get to just Whitney, that's another story for a different day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have to find this album and shit. I think my dad's in my dad's collection.
Okay. Number 5, I got an R&B legend that was still doing it at this time. I think this album is highly slept on. Keith Sweat still in the game. A fire album, and you
I
had
never heard
you
it.
had product. You never heard this album? This album is
Nah.
banging. He had Jazzy Faye was on this. Eric Sermon, Too Short, Snoop Dogg. He had some joints on here.
So
Hmm?
in other words, is an R&B legend trying to get into the hip hop just to stay relevant.
But he was always into hip hop though.
I know. I'm just
You know
joking
what I'm
because
saying?
once you said all those names, because I'm just like it screams
Mm,
'98. How
right.
the labels were trying to like SWV's release some tension album and shit.
Oh God,
Like
I don't like that album. That album was bad for as many features that was on there. I don't know how. I don't know how that was so bad.
it didn't release any tension to mine. Listen to that shit.
Oh man. Yeah, but this was a dope album, man. Like the joint "Come and Get with Me" with Snoop Dogg was fire, and what's the other joint I like? The joint with oh yeah, Love Jones with actually Player is on this album. The joint, oh yeah, Player, Too Short, and Eric Sermon on Love Jones. That's one of my favorites on this album. This was fire. Just Another Day. He had
Mm.
Rumors. This was definitely a banging Keith Sweat album. Probably the last good Keith Sweat album that I like. I didn't like nothing else after this. And he dropped a lot of crap also in the 2000s, like Boyz II Men did it. I
Right,
didn't like
right.
none of that shit. So yeah, this is probably like my last good Keith Sweat album in '98. So
Yeah, I agree. The 2000s. If it wasn't for that
yeah,
radio show, man.
yeah, for real, right?
If it wasn't for that Keith Sweat Hotel, man, you would have been gone. Yeah,
They used to
boy.
always show that on they used to show that tour like on BT and shit.
Oh wow.
I'm like, yo, why they keep showing this joint? It's like the best tour ever.
Like the fucking Soul Train cruise or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh god. Like y'all, these niggas really be trying to hype up this shit. I'm just like, y'all, just kill that. I mean, it's
For
nice
real.
that I see like a lot of R&B legends,
Uh-huh.
getting a new fan base. fan base and still working. Don't get me wrong, but the
Mhm.
way how I be seeing these infomercials, they be trying so hard to hype up this shit. I'm just like, it's a
Yeah,
cruise with R&B singers. Like,
exactly.
what we doing? Soul Train line. We're gonna have fucking Scrabble games or some shit like that. Like,
Right.
shouldn't it just be called a Soul Cruise instead for the Soul Train Cruise? Isn't that a little
New kids on the
contradictory and shit? I mean,
new kids on the block have their cruise too. They have like a cruise where they go to different places with different artists. I think LL Cool J was on the cruise with them and Naughty by Nature. I'm like, what are we doing
Naughty by Nature, LO, and New Kids on the Block.
here?
Jesus,
I'm
what
like,
we
what we
doing?
doing? Like, it's bad enough you got people getting drunk on the cruise and they falling the fuck over. Like now you got adding artists to the cruise. Crazy.
Shit.
I think
Anyway,
they made a reality show out of that shit actually. Like, it came on. It was I
of
forgot the channel.
course,
Yeah,
they did because everyone loves to make reality shows of their little
bro.
of their life, and they want to fucking hype up their fucking shit like it's the most exciting shit when
Right.
it's just regular fucking
They
shit.
they
Like,
made like a whole like little reality series out of that cruise tour they were doing. I'm like, really?
shit,
Crazy.
that gets a reality show. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this over with. Number four is the R album. It's the R album.
Yes.
Number four by R. Kelly.
Hmm.
It's like when I say his name now, I just hear people just laughing and just saying, "Oh, I can just hear 50 million people right now and shit." Like,
They giving you the side eye right
yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I just it's like whenever I mention R.
now.
Kelly now, it's like I just get I can just feel the uneasiness sneaking up on me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Damn. But
Oh,
anyway,
shit.
I don't give a flying fuck because this is one of my favorite R. Kelly albums.
Yeah.
Um, he has songs like "Home Alone" with Keith Murray, "When a Woman's Fed Up." I mean, come on,
Mm,
"Half on a Baby,"
yes.
fucking VIP. I mean, this whole
Classic.
album is just classic. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
This is when
Definitely.
Kels was on top of the world technically and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, I mean, say what you want to say. You're wrong for that. Say what you want to say, but his genius,
Uh,
his genius, his musical genius will never be unmatched and shit.
yes. Definitely. That's it.
Oh, I forgot. Now that's it. So I do that every
Man.
like a black man, shit
He's,
like that
he's like the
too.
boogeyman now with shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like whenever I mention like a black man that does some horrendous shit, I have to do that side effect and shit like that because the media still wants to like praise all these white pedophiles and shit, which I don't understand. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Crazy. Oh man.
Like, that should be a
Number.
next reality show. Pedophiles. That's the next reality show and shit.
Oh Lord. Don't give them no ideas, yo.
Hey! We already have reality shows of cops and shit.
Right?
I'm just saying, pedophiles gonna have a reality show in the future. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you.
Man. Number four. I got Never Say Never, Brandy.
Yo, that's my
Brand,
next one too. Oh my
that's the next
fucking
one, number
god.
four. Oh
My
shit.
next
This
one.
always happens, yo. Like we make these lists and we have like the same album placements on all of them. It's crazy. Uh,
Oh, shit.
that was a good album though. That's definitely one of my favorite Brandy albums, and he had some bangers on here. Top of the World with Mace, love that song. The Boy's Mind, of course, that's also on Brandy's album. Almost Doesn't Count. That was good. There's also a DJ Premier remix. That's DJ Premier did a remix, so Almost Doesn't Count. I have it on my iPod. There's Fire. I wish he
Oh
had put that
shit!
on the
I hear it.
album. Yes, that's a banger. You got Have You Ever, another classic record. She also did a rendition of the Brian Adams 91 hit Everything I Do It For You from the
Oh
Robin Hood
god,
Prince of Thieves
I hate like that.
movie with Kevin Costner. And that was a hit in itself when that came out in 91. I used to see that video every day on MTV. And
I hate
that's
Brian
basically the only That's the only Bryan Adams song that I know of. Like as far as like him solo, I think he came from a band, right?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who he. I just don't like him. That's that Dawson's Creek fucking coffee. That's that Friends Coffee Club music. I can't.
Yeah. This is
That fucking
before Dawson's Creek and Felicity and all that.
my point exactly. This was a cutting off your t-shirts. I'm a
Yeah.
tough guy in the outside, but a softy in the inside. I hate that. I hate that shit. That was the precursor to the Thugs Need Love era in R&B.
Oh man. So I
I
take
rather
you
listen to
you're
Michael
not a
Bolton.
Bryan Adams, you're not a Bryan Adams fan.
I listen to Michael Bolton and Bryan Adams, and that's saying
Oh
something.
Lord, you're
And
not a Bryan
mind
Adams
you,
fan.
the only time when Michael Bolton steals from our culture and shit. So
Right. Damn, I never liked him. Michael Bolton, never cared for him.
you know he was a heavy metal singer at first. You know that, right?
Was he? He could sing,
Yeah,
but I never cared for any of his
he can
songs and
sing.
shit. Though. Yeah,
Where? Oh, he can
he
sing,
could
but
sing.
Maya can't.
No,
He can sing, but Maya can't sing.
you're not about to put Maya in with Michael
No,
Bolton. Michael Bolton can sing.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because I don't know how. Baby, how did I evolve? My nigga, my
So
nigga, he sounds like fucking Goofy as
he
a lounge
he
singer and shit. Nigga,
he can sing to me. I just never cared for any of his songs though. But no, he didn't cross over. He didn't do that crossover thing like Justin did, or both Justins actually,
who?
Bieber and Timberlake. He
Michael
didn't do that
Bolton did
crossover.
crossover.
When
Yes, he
to,
did.
to
He
Black
crossed
Radio?
over.
To Black Radio? When?
I mean, if you talking about like pop charts and shit like that, then
No, I'm talking
yeah.
about to
But
Black Radio. Like the same way we were bumping fucking Rock Your
oh
Body
hell,
from Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber. No, I'm talking about he
see,
didn't cross over to
by
Black
that by
Radio.
that by that by that time, we just lost our way by that time and shit. But still,
Yo. Nah,
by that
I
time,
don't know when it's probably like once. Didn't he have like a big like ballad back in the day? I forgot the name of that shit.
who Bolton?
Michael Bolton. Yeah.
Everything he sung was a ballad.
Nah, but he had like what was his breakout song? He had a breakout hit. I forgot the damn song. He had a
Man,
breakout.
you're gonna make me have to go to the discography and shit. Hold on.
He
Man,
could sing, but I just wasn't a fan of none of his some music like that though.
I never thought he could
You
sing.
never thought he could sing?
Never.
You never thought he could sing, but you think Maya
No.
could sing? Wow, I don't get that.
I never thought Maya could sing like that either, though. But it was "How Am I Supposed to Live Without You." That was his breakout because that was his first number
That
one.
song, yeah. Was that the song? No, it was
Yeah,
another song, yo. That was a song?
"Sitting on the Dock of the Bay." Yo, look at how much black songs he stole. Yo, what the fuck?
I know the song when I hear it. It's a song that he did that was like a big hit, and it was like a ballad.
My nigga was the Pat Boone of his time. Y'all talk about Elvis and shit. Look how many black songs this nigga stole.
Right? Yeah, they were doing that. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga did a version of "Sexual Healing." Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But it wasn't as good as Marvin's own.
Nothing is never as good as Marvin.
No.
Marvin,
That's what I'm
like
saying. Like 98 was. Mhm.
D'Angelo's Black Jesus. Marvin was just God.
Oh Lord.
Like
98 was like a lot of artists were doing renditions. I didn't understand that.
it was. I tell you, it was the international flavor. Everybody wanted that international hit.
Right.
You know. I said it was once Whitney. I will always love you and shit like that. That's when everybody wanted to pick the label wanted to pick the most adult contemporary, the poppiest song and shit like that. See, it's like the Mariah Carey vibe and shit, you know.
Right. It's crazy. I forgot the hit. I remember him doing a lot of ballads, but he didn't have nothing that was banging that I would play.
I honestly want to talk about Brandy than Michael Bolton.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I was talking about the Bryan Adams song, and he was like Michael Bolton. I'm like Michael Bolton and Bryan Adams.
How did we go from Brandy to Bryan Adams to Michael Bolton?
Like, because he did the rendition of "Everything I Do." That was a big hit from Bryan Adams in '91. I remember that song. That's the only song I know from him.
Y'all can keep that shit, man.
That's the only song I know from him. Like I would actually buy that on vinyl because it was a big hit, and I remember it. And from that Robin Hood movie with Kevin Costner playing Robin Hood was a disaster in itself. But that's a whole different story. But that song was from that movie, huh?
That Dave Chappelle was in that one, right?
In 91?
Oh, that was the one in
No,
'93. Excuse me.
yeah,
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner playing Robin Hood. So, yeah, I didn't care for that movie, but
Jesus
that
Christ.
that song was from that soundtrack, and then Brandy did the rendition on Never Say Never. So that's how we got into Michael Bolton. I don't know why the fuck we get into Michael Bolton with Brian Adams, but
Oh yeah, 'cause I said I'd rather listen to Michael Bolton stealing ass than Brian
right,
Adams and shit.
right, and I never liked Michael Bolton, so
I never liked
yeah,
him either, but
yeah,
shit, I was gonna say Timberlake. Fuck. Shit,
oh
what the fuck
man,
is that? Anyway,
yeah,
so I'm gonna continue on with fucking Never Say Never, man. Like this might be my second favorite Brandy album.
mhm.
Vocally, this is probably my second favorite as well too. I feel like Full Moon, still vocally, that's the best album. Vocally,
Yeah, the most good,
this is my favorite album from artistically.
right,
Her and Rodney Jerkins, man. That's like, oh my
hmm
god, y'all talk about Babyface and Tony. I put down the same length as Babyface and Tony and
yeah,
shit. I don't give a fuck
facts,
what no one
facts,
says.
definitely, yeah.
Like, is it bad that I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing Boy Is Mine sometimes?
We was tired of it in '98, so they overplayed that shit. They still
I
play that.
I love it. I love it, but still, it's just like okay,
Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah, we get it. It's like okay.
yeah.
Top of the World
The
with Mace
video,
was pretty good. You said what?
yeah. The video they overplayed too.
Oh my god, that was the
Crazy.
beginning, and that was Mackay Pfeiffer wasn't that shit too?
Yeah, Mekhi Phifer was in there, right?
Because he was the signature dark skinned nigga at that time and shit. You know what I'm
The dark skin two timer. Oh
saying? Yo,
man,
Top of the World was my shit though.
yes, I
And
love that.
it went like no, that was Tell Me What You. Excuse me, I'm tripping.
Mhm.
Never Say Never. Have you ever? Oh my god.
Yeah,
This was around the time when she was also in double platinum too and stuff too.
hmm
Almost Doesn't Count.
yeah,
Every Black Woman's Anthem and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I fucking love this fucking record and shit. This is my number three.
That's your number four. Or that's
Number
your number
three.
three. That's number three. Okay.
Yeah.
My number three is Maxwell Mbia.
That's my
I
next
always
one. Oh my
really,
fucking god.
yo, I always
My
felt
next
like
one.
this album. This was his most underrated album to me for whatever reason. I never heard a lot of people talk about this album. It was always the first one, or they talked about the Now album or Black Summer's Night Volume One. But this album to me was always slept on. It was really moody. It was dark. It was melodic. A lot of the songs were real sensual. You had what was it? Maybe You, Matrimony, and that some of the titles I didn't care for though. Like that I think he put like the title and then he put like the another second title for like a subtitle.
Yeah,
Ever wanting
my nigga
to
thought
want.
he was Janet
Yeah, what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is this I'm reading? Ever wanting to want you to want, and I'm like, that is confusing. You
Jackson
had
or not.
you had luxury Coco Cure and Submerged till we become the sun. I didn't care for some of these titles, but the album was banging. I love the production. Um, like I said, like it was a great sophomore album. I just felt like it was. I don't feel like Columbia Records promoted it enough when it came
They
out, and
did.
it still managed to sell. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't promote it enough, or they didn't know how to promote it. With some of these song titles, but definitely underrated Maxwell album.
Yeah, this is actually my probably my favorite Maxwell album next to the Urban
Mhm.
Hang Suite and shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
same,
my nigga
same.
went full Sade on us. This nigga,
Yes,
I felt like I was underwater with this fucking album and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
I still am mad I didn't have a chance to buy the vinyl, but the girl
Mhm.
was selling it for $34. I'm looking at myself like, what the fuck is that?
Damn.
Um, Tracks like "I'm You," "You Are Me," and "We Are You."
Okay.
Um, Our whole Campolo rice with chicken was pretty good and
That was
shit
dope.
like that.
Mm,
Each hour, each second, each minute, each day of my life,
that
basically
was dope.
24/7 was good. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It was a good album. It's like the titles was just on some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. He was doing too much with the titles. Number two, I got Lauren Hill, the
That's
Miseducation
mine.
of Lauren Hill. That's your number two, also. What the
That's
fuck?
mine. Wait. That's my number one.
Okay, my number. Okay, my number two is Lauren Hill, Miseducation. Love this album. This is definitely a both rap and R&B album. There's still debate about this after 20 something years about this album. Is it rap? Is it R&B? It's both. It's a fusion. She's rapping and singing on here. There's some songs where she's singing, and then there's some like
But
to
Young
Zion, she's singing. Huh?
but Young Thug is a hip hop album, right? Okay.
I don't listen to Young Thugs. I wouldn't know.
Because he does a lot of
I
singing
really
on that
don't.
album. Rap.
Oh, is he? He sings.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't know.
attempting.
It ain't the same. But shit, Wiz Khalifa attempted to sing also. He sound like crap.
I rest my
You
case.
know. So everybody can't do what Drake do. You know. Some songs she's singing like on to Zion, dedicated to her firstborn. She's singing on that on, then she's rapping like on Final Hour and Lost Ones, and she has songs where she's rapping and singing. And I thought it's a her only album. It's a classic. Production once again done all by Lauryn Hill. She didn't run out and get Primo and this. What's crazy is she was supposed to get RZA was supposed to do produce tracks on here. She never got RZA for whatever reason. He never was able to produce anything on the album, but all produced by Lauryn Hill, no Wyclef, nobody else. And she had Carlos Santana on here and D'Angelo, Mary J. Five My Classic. This they easily could have been number one, but this is definitely a great album.
Yeah, man. It's actually my favorite album from '98 in terms of R&B.
Right.
I mean, I kind of consider more of an R&B album with some hip hop. It's a
Right.
hybrid. This thing is it's a
Yeah,
fucking hybrid and shit. You know
I
what
agree.
I'm saying?
hmm Just like
Um,
Love Below. Love Below was a hybrid too.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Even though he rapped on like one track, really, but
Right.
yeah.
No, he rapped on more than
Um,
one track. What do you mean?
I mean, like, I meant fully rapping,
Or
like,
like full rap, like a full rap song?
yeah, like the day in the life of that, the day in the life of Andre Benjamin, that shit.
Right.
That's what I meant to say. But yeah, he was rapping and
Yeah.
singing and shit too. I thought that's what you meant when he said like rapping, like he had like rap songs and shit too. That's what I thought you meant.
Right. Now I mean like it's basically like his version is like the male version of her album. Like he was rapping and singing on that. Produced by
Yeah,
Andre. He didn't run out and get big name producers. It's all produced by him.
true, true. I feel you on that. I have a feeling what your number one is, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Um, yeah, man. Even though this, I love something like "Do Wop That Thing." I mean, that to this day, it's a fucking banger classic.
Right.
Even
Right.
though these days everyone knows it because Drake wanted that care for me, and then they care for me, care for me.
Lord.
Wait, no, excuse me. That was X Factor. Excuse me.
Oh,
That's actually my favorite track off that album,
yeah.
X
That
Factor.
was good. That was good.
That one and Nothing Even Matters. Everything
hmm
is everything. I used to love him. I mean,
Yeah.
even they have like the hidden track, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, with
hmm
dope and shit like that. Um, she wrote the majority of this during her breakup with Wyclef. Like songs
Right.
like X Factor. Lost One's one of the greatest diss tracks in hip hop history too.
hmm
People don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Shit. Everybody was going after Wyclef at the time and shit. Shit. We might have to do a best female hip hop diss tracks one day.
For real.
You might have to,
Definitely.
yeah. But yeah, this one right here was a pretty dope record. It's an influential record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not that unplugged album, man. I'm not even gonna take that one. People want to say, "Oh, that's an album." No, it's a live album. Let's
Right.
let's This is this is her only album to
Her
date.
own- yeah.
I don't want
I,
to.
I,
Don't act like she
apparently,
just.
oh Lord.
This shit.
Apparently they everything is cool again because she was at Essence Fest with Wyclef last week. So
Yeah,
apparently I think the Fugees are going on tour or something like that.
yeah, because they were. I saw a recent performance they did. I think like last year. They killed it. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but in terms of another album, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah, right. We
I'll
need
just stick.
a new album. I'd rather have a new album than a tour. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need a new album from them. You know?
Do we really need a new Fuji's album at this time? I'm
Yes,
just
we do.
saying.
What you mean? Yes,
I feel
we
like I
do.
feel like
We need a new Lord
we waited, and I don't know, man. As long as they're touring and they're making coins, I'm good with that.
We
I
need
really.
a new Fuji's album, a new Lauryn Hill album. Like I'm good on. We don't need another Wyclef album. Like he gave us
Yeah,
way too many albums as it is right now. You know what I'm
we
saying?
don't need a
He
album.
killed that whole carnival theme. We don't need another Praz album. We need a new Lauryn Hill album and a new Fuji's album. Would like to see that happen at some point. You know, so it's good that they touring. Maybe they on the road together. They'll start having ideas and coming up with like new music. You know, but yeah. So man, they killed it. They killed it at Essence Fest last week. I watched it on YouTube. Well, some of the performances I couldn't find others, but they killed it last week. My number one is the best R&B double album ever. R.
I
Kelly, the
knew it.
R, not Chris Brown, not anybody else. The best R&B double album ever. It will never change. The R, classic production, songs. We had features on here like both Nas and Jay Z's on this album. People forget that. We have both Nas and Jay Z on this album. Cameron is on here. Nori, Keith Murray, Foxy Brown, Celine Dion. Yo, the feature list was crazy. R. Kelly definitely took it up a notch with every album, and he definitely stepped it up with the songs and the production on here. And you had When a Woman's Fed Up, and Half on a Baby, Home Alone, VIP. There's also a VIP remix that didn't make the album. The remix has Jay-Z on it. That's on YouTube. I remember hearing that on a DJ Clue tape back in '98. I like the remix. The remix also should. I don't know why they didn't have it on there, but um, you had I Believe I Can Fly, classic, one of the all-time great R. Kelly songs on this album. That was definitely a great album. Did we do a review for this? Oh no, we did a review for this, right?
If I'm not mistaken, that was a surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
so we did a review for this.
surprise review.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if we did one for this or not.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a great album, man. Definitely flawless, 5 mic classic. One of the best double albums all time ever. I'm putting it right up there with Life After Death and All Eyes on Me and Wu Tang Forever. It's definitely fucking with any of those albums on any day. And this is an R&B album, but it's definitely that great. So salute. I don't give a fuck. I'm still R. Kelly fan. I still bump his music. And yes, classic.
Yes, yes. I got about I think like two honorable mentions I can go by
Same,
and
same,
shit like
same.
that too. Um, just two. I think my first honorable mention I have to go with the Doctor Doolittle soundtrack.
I never heard that.
Pretty.
Gotta check that.
I heard a bits and pieces. Yeah, I heard a majority of the songs and shit. I'm not gonna lie, this has some trash. I'm not gonna hold you. Like Ray J's, that's
Oh
my lie.
Lord.
I mean,
And the first person you mentioned is Ray J.
Montel Jordan's Let's Ride remix.
Oh wow. Who was on
Um,
that? The remix for that?
it's like Sean. I see Shanta.
Oh Lord.
Master P and Sick the Shocker. Yeah,
I remember that because I think that's on his album too. That when he came out with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that album. That's this one. But if you get past those two trash songs, it has some heat like fucking Aaliyah's "Are You
Mm,
That Somebody," which
of
might be the
course.
most iconic
Definitely.
R&B song of that year.
Best
If you
song
ask
on that
me.
soundtrack.
Huh?
Best song on that
You said what?
soundtrack. Best song on
Yeah,
that soundtrack.
yeah. Like Timberland had a few joints with the funk and same with OG.
Mm. Oh, the
Changing
genuine
faces.
joint. Okay,
Yeah.
dope.
Um, changing faces, do little things. I mean, it was a pretty solid soundtrack for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And then my other honorable mention, I gotta go with shit. Maybe 112 room 112 and shit. I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay.
That was a pretty dope record as well too. You know what I'm saying? Isn't my favorite album they've done?
Mm.
Probably my second favorite. I think the third one. Maybe
Yeah,
I have to re-listen to this dog really.
that
But
one
yeah,
is
just
great.
was I think the last one they did on Bad Boy. Yeah, Love Me with Mace was pretty good. Anywhere with wait, Lil Zane.
Little Zane,
It was
the
decent.
Tupac writer. Yeah, right.
Kiss Bop Tupac. Yeah, Funny
Uh,
Feelings was pretty good. To this day, I still don't know why y'all asked me to review that stupid shit.
well, they actually to review the Lil Zane album. Oh no,
Yeah,
no, you cannot do that.
but yeah, definitely a very honorable mention. That's it.
Jesus Christ! I remember seeing a interview he did on public access TV, and he's saying that he used to ghostwrite for Tupac. When the fuck did you ever ghostwrite for Tupac? I've never
In his
heard that.
dreams, in his dreams, man.
I'm like, bro, I'm like, Tupac didn't even fucking know you. Like you,
Probably
he
had a
died
home.
when you
Probably had a homeboy. Probably had a homeboy named Tupac.
he died before
I
he
mean,
even came out. I'm like, he didn't know him. I'm like, yo, these niggas
these
was
niggas
lying
always
through
want to
their
be.
fingers.
These niggas always want to be with Pac and shit. Just shut up,
Yeah.
damn.
I'm like,
Get his
bro,
get his name out your mouth, man.
you did not
Shit.
write for Tupac, bro. I'm like, come on, stop the bullshit. You know, back in 90, in 1991, we niggas ain't even hear Little Zane. I'm like, where did he write for Tupac at? You know, he wasn't traveling with the Outlaws and shit. That shit was funny, but yeah, man. I don't mention I got another Bad Boy. I got like three Bad Boy albums on this list. Ironically, I got all of them are sophomore albums. Total sophomore album. Keisha Kima Pam. It had some bangers. Not I like the first one album more. But had some joints tripping. That was a hit. You had what's the other joint? Sitting home was another single. Um, they had a remix of What About Us with Black Rob. Rest in peace, Black Rob. But that remix was bad. I did not like that remix. I didn't think you needed a remix for that. I enjoyed the original version, and this is what I say when it came to Puffy. He thought he was the king of remixes too, and he was just dropping any old damn thing that he thought that was gonna sell. You don't need a remix for What About Us. That was already a dope song with Missy and Timbaland to begin with, and he ended up doing a remix. They put a remix on here with Black Rob, and it sounded like crap. You had If You Want Me featuring Mace, and they sampled Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. So they basically singing over that beat because it's really nothing that Puffy produced on there. That was decent. You had Do Something with featuring Missy and Mocha, and that song they were singing about a guy that was like sleeping like he was cheating with another woman, and they confronted the other woman, and the other woman was threatening them. So they were like, do something. That was dope. That should have a video. There was both a Bad Boy and Missy Elliott like tug of war going on with this album, and I like the tracks more with Missy because she was innovative at that time, and she was like still like a new artist. She had only dropped Super Duper Fly at that point. So I like the collaborations that they did with Missy. Um, but yeah, it had some joints, but it's not a classic album though. Compared, I like the first one more, but that was dope. And then you got Aretha Franklin, A Rose Still a Rose. I like some of the joints. I'll Dip, produced by Dallas Austin. That was dope. You had the title track produced by Lauryn Hill. I'll Never Leave You Again, produced by the Hitman, not Puff Daddy, because Puff Daddy don't produce. It had some joints, but my whole issue is again like I hate to see like a lot of these artists from yesteryear, like a Luther Vandross or Aretha Franklin, and they try to update them with a new sound for that era, and it don't work for them. It didn't work for Luther when he dropped his collab featured album, and then it didn't work for Aretha with this album. They those are like I don't like to hear like the artists from like the 60s and 70s with like an updated sound because they have that vintage sound that's missing from music right now. And it's like they try to like bring them into today's sound, and it don't work for all of them. So this has a couple of good tracks, but it's not a great album. Like, I've heard people say it's a classic. I'm like, this is not a classic album by no means. Like Aretha's classics was like back in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like a lot of her 80s stuff either, but you know, this it had some joints, but it's not a classic album. Though.
I feel. Alrighty. So I think I'm about doing one more R&B video before we go into back to
Yeah.
hip hop.
Okay.
Hmm. I want to do a challenge.
A challenge.
Let's do 2001.
Okay. 2001. Bet was it top 10, top 15?
Let's do 13 since it's the year of 9/11. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's, let's do 13.
What is the 13
I
coming
don't
in?
because when I think 2001,
Yeah.
I always think bad luck when it comes to that year. I don't know why.
It was bad luck. Top.
It was just like, and that's not to make it fun of 9/11. That's not me making fun of 9/11.
Right.
It's just the beginning of the whole technology era,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, insert business 2000. It was just a weird year
Right.
when it comes to that shit. So
Top 13 R&B albums of 2001. Okay.
yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. Do I even got? I don't even remember what came out in 2001. Do I even got 10? Yet alone 13?
I mean, if you can't find 13, we can do 10 to be
It
safe.
gotta be some. It gotta be. But see, I like to check out the ones that I didn't check out because there was like a couple of them of these albums in '90 that I didn't check out, and I'm like, yeah, this was dope.
Yeah, I
I
know
see. I
Prince's
see
Rainbow,
about three already. Huh?
Prince Rainbow Children,
That came out that
Janice
year?
all,
Oh one.
yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. All
Janice
for
all
you.
for you,
Fuck yes.
Aaliyah self-titled,
I don't even see all for you on this list. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. Yeah, yeah. I got a couple of joints.
Mary J. Blige, No More Drama.
Yes, classic joint. Okay.
Yeah, man.
J Lo. Why do you put J
Yeah,
Lo in this shit? I think it's put J Lo
I
in
mean,
this shit.
J Lo is technically R&B,
Is she? I thought
technically.
she was pop.
Well, the songs that she
She's
sung,
not R&B.
the songs that masqueraded from Ashanti. That's why I consider
Oh,
R&B.
oh yes. That was her ghostwriter was Ashanti.
Yeah, if you want to put Ja Rule's "Pain of Love," you can do that too. Because
Is that an R&B album?
that
The
was
Nerve?
love. I had love. Yeah,
This they consider any of these R&B?
they kind of did a lot of genre like funk, hip hop,
Right.
rock.
They got two different versions of that album though. There's a rock version and a like an electronic version.
I mean, both was trash. I didn't know what I needed to.
I actually the R&B version I found on the internet, but I never bought that album though, because I like the R&B version more. Like there was some the rock joints, it didn't translate well compared to the R&B joints.
I would even say Michael Jackson's "Invincible."
I see it on this list. I like some songs. I don't know. That might be an honorable mention. I didn't care. I didn't think that was a great album for Michael.
Yeah,
And I know people love it.
Destiny Child. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but Destiny Child Survivor. Alicia Keys. Alicia
Yes.
Keys first album
That's one of
came
my
out.
favorites. That's
Yeah,
definitely top five. That's one of my favorites. For sure.
for real.
Okay.
No, this is actually. You want? If you're free tonight, we can do this. If you're free
Yeah.
tonight.
Let's do that. Let's do that tonight.
All right.
I got it. I got it. I
So
might
I'm
I
gonna.
might check out like one or two albums on here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna be up for a good while tonight. while tonight and shit like that.
Okay.
Because tonight at 11 o'clock we got the taxi breakdown and shit like that.
Oh Lord.
I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear what 5 episodes you watched and shit. You know, it's gonna be easy, like one from each
Lord.
season. So
Lord.
yeah,
Mm,
that's gonna be at 11 o'clock. I'm probably gonna drop this like at 8 o'clock and shit.
okay.
Um, Also, this Wednesday, Ashley says she's available because she's gonna show the rest of her collection and shit.
Okay. What we doing Wednesday?
Just showing Ashley's just talking shit, showing collection.
Okay.
Cause I'm on my break. I'm on my break now and shit. I mean,
Right.
I
Right.
say I'm on my break. I'm on my break, man.
Right.
Y'all niggas ain't paying me like that anyway. Fuck y'all niggas.
Right. Mm.
besides, besides, it's like I have to worry about when I'm gonna do the Molly Mall beat battle because that's
Yeah.
gonna be this month.
Okay.
Um, I do have a what the fuck video I want to do on different strokes.
Yeah.
What else? What else? What else? We already did Mo Better Blues.
Yeah. That was great.
I have to come out. I have to come out with the Arsenio Hall, Keanu Wayne's beef episode and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit I gotta do. Fucking, I gotta do up to this fucking point. That's why I was like, let me take a break from reviews because I have more fun doing these fucking lists at this moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
It's fun.
Yeah, Lincoln Park breakdown is gonna be next month too.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, man. Other than that, I'm about to do some deliveries before it starts raining back again and shit like that.
All right.
Um, Stay tuned tonight at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna drop this video at 8 o'clock and shit like that. So hope you guys have a very good day. Peace.